welcome back. We are day one at the end of our interviews for the day, and I have two incredible, creative, and talented individuals here at the Aputure booth. Or are we in my living room? Who knows? I have Ted Zim and Tim Kang. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
This is my apartment, guys. This is not your booth anymore, right?
Certainly not a
Yeah,
booth,
exactly. Certainly not. Can you? The sky's changing. I'm really excited to be back at NAB this year. What can we expect from Aputure for your booth this year? What's new?
Yeah, absolutely. New thing is going to be the Infinimats.
Okay.
And the Infinimats are important because it's basically the Aputure version of a matte light, and it's the Aputure version of a matte light that everybody's been waiting for.
Cool.
It's 2 times the brightness of an industry standard, full RGB, IP65 weatherproofed,
Okay.
pixel mappable, and infinitely expandable as far as the system that actually runs on it.
Fantastic. Okay, so for someone who has no idea, they're just getting into like tech language and knowledge, if we wanted to put that into a layman term for why they would want it, what would be the layman term?
Most of the time when you want a soft light, the only way you can do it is point source to softbox. Problem though is that's really thick, which is why we love matte lights, because you get the same softness of a softbox and even larger if you want to, but you don't get any of that depth and you can expand it wider and wider.
Fantastic. And Tim, how long have you guys been working on this project for?
I actually don't know. He would know.
All right.
This project has been in progress for at least 2 years. However, the Aputure ecosystem is the reason this is so important. The matte light completes all of the different form factors of lights that exist. So you know that there's light bulbs, there's point source lights, there's tube lights, there's matte lights, there's mini panels, large panels.
Yeah.
The matte light actually completes something we've been working on for 10 years, and that's that since we started as a company, everyone's been asking us, can Aputure please just make their version of X light?
Yeah.
The matte light means that now, no matter what type of light you're looking for, there's an Aputure version of it, and they all connect wirelessly into a wireless ecosystem called Link, which means you can control all from your phone or your app.
So you're a yes company.
We are a company that has delivered on the thing that we promised we'd deliver on.
I love that. And Tim, coming in from I treat you in my world as the lead color scientist in my entire headspace. So I know that Aputure is fantastic with the color that you guys put out. How do we how does that happen? What is going into manufacturing panels or manufacturing lights? What are the main things that you're focused on?
Well, so my role, I'm a cinematographer, but I'm principal engineer, and what that means is I pretty much understand what cinematography needs. The technical requirements that you need to be able to have in your light to be able to deliver what we need as filmmakers. And so I have already experience with another lighting company, and based off of that and based off of what I have seen all the testing and results, that basically we need to do all the right types of LED spectrum and get all the right kind of elements inside a fixture, as well as calibrating it and controlling it in a way that makes sense to the common filmmaker. Because we have language that we know, but manufacturers don't always know. They're engineers. Why would they know, right? And so I formed that bridge between the two. And so being able to have the understanding of both the application as well as the manufacturing technology that you use to achieve that manufacturing application is basically what Aputure does, and that's why I'm on board. So,
yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about my living room. What are we lighting with today, and why did we choose those lights?
Oh, there's so many lights that are here on display right now. I mean, we've got Infinimats right above us.
Great.
We have Infinimats to the side over here.
Great.
They're spotted for now. MCs are actually in all of these floodlights, and we actually have our practical bulbs as well in all of these. The reason for that is just to show this is the full ecosystem.
There you go, we're completed.
Practical lights, mini lights, big panel lights, soft sources. If you want to recreate sky,
Yes.
we can make your lights as big as the sky as well too. So there's now something has happened for the first time that has not happened in maybe 50 to 75 years. And that is that you can now light entire productions from one system and one brand.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That wasn't possible for the longest time, and
Yeah.
now all the tools are there.
Yeah.
And it's easier than ever. So.
Yeah. And so what I also love about Aputure is the amount of modification you can do to your lights. And I can see already about all of the almost snap bags and also like your grids and diffusion and things like that. For the Infinimats, was there an adjustment that had to happen, or was there like a requirement on like, we love modification, was like, here's the drop list of like what we actually have to have? Did anything change for the Infinimats compared to your normal like ecosystem?
Absolutely. So when I say it's the ultimate matte light, that means it's got to be different in some way, right? So it's twice as bright. But the biggest thing is the inflatable diffusion, and that sounds crazy to people.
That sounds fun.
I think so too. I think so too.
So we can, you know, on set, people used to use furniture blankets and make hammocks out of them.
Right.
But now we made mattresses. So.
Inflatable design is not new to this industry, right? We have blow-up lights that have existed forever. We have air balloons that have existed forever. So this is not like your Intex mattress, right? But the problem with a lot of matte lights is that two things. One, to set them up, as you know, you got to build a frame, a truss, a light box. Those are heavy and they take time. And the second thing is that even when you build them, it's a frame, which means in the center it's going to sag. And everybody knows the feeling of hanging a 4x4 or a 10x10 and seeing that huge dip of light that exists. So the inflatable does two things. One, it's the fastest possible build. You can set these up in 7 seconds. They all now float. 1x2 size immediately blows up.
Amazing.
You don't have to build a frame because the whole thing has structure. It's the lightest, it's the brightest, and it's the fastest.
What's on it right now?
Right.
All of this?
All of this,
Yep.
You just saw that change.
That's all of it.
That's a giant 20x20 Infinimat in the air that's pixel mappable too.
And that's with the inflatable
That's the
modification.
inflatable
diffusion
Oh my
on
god.
there.
Yeah.
This
Cool.
inflatable diffusion right there. It doesn't sag. There's no sag.
Oh yeah, and you can see where the structure is because of like the smaller part of like pieces within it.
Absolutely.
Oh wow, that's really cool. And so that comes in kind of every size up to 20 by, is that the largest, the 20 by 20?
This is the largest 20x20, but you can, the underlying tech, like the mat, you can expand infinitely. And that's why they're called Infinimats. So you can actually look at a wall and say, I want to cover this side of a building with light.
That's cool.
And you can scale it to whatever size you want.
That's cool. I actually love this. Like, as you know, filmmakers here, no film school, the best thing in the world is like just getting rid of some of the manual labor involved in the weight of it, or like touching metal that's cold in the morning. And so having stuff like this is like actually fantastic. So I think that's what I'm actually most excited about, is like the inflatable modification.
I think if you need a soft light right next to camera that you want to walk with, you can pump it up 7 seconds and walk, and all of a sudden you have a 1x2 soft box.
So cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Anything else you want to point out for the No Film School crowd today?
Sidus Link Pro has to get talked about.
Let's
Sidus
do
Link
it.
Pro, okay. Sidus Link Pro, in the past, you really only had two options. You could do lighting from an app, which is Sidus Link, or you could do a full lighting console with wireless DMX. One of them is super easy, turns on, all connects, but it's not Wi-Fi stability, it's not CRMX. The other one, you have to read the lighting textbook and learn how to do IT networking. Sidus Link Pro means that the same app that you know from Bluetooth lighting now has Wi-Fi level stability, and it has instantaneous queuing from the console. So you don't have to make the choice anymore. You don't have to switch apps on set. One app can now control all of your fixtures, including non-Aputure fixtures as well too. So that's big for us.
And so with the Sidus Link Pro, for someone who is just learning or getting into it, how would they start? Is there like the demo that they can like practice before they even have lights like on set with them? Can they practice at home, like simulating what that would look like, or do you know?
There's a demo scene on, you know, they have demo like stuff in the software.
Fantastic. So someone could like right now listen to this interview, download it, and really play around and check it out. So the next time they're renting Aputure units and they have the entire ecosystem to light this apartment, they can already like understand it, which is great.
Absolutely.
Or ideally like try to understand it, which seems a lot easier this time.
I would say open up Sidus Link. We designed it to be the kind of thing that when you open it up, it just makes sense.
Fantastic.
You're like moving your finger around, you pick colors, you move levels. The thing hasn't been up, like lighting, wireless lighting as we know, hasn't really been updated since like the 80s.
Yeah.
So our job is to bring it into the 21st century. That's our goal here.
We love a user-friendly experience.
That's our job.
Oh, Tim, Ted, thank you so much. I know we have to wrap things up because you are back-to-back here at NAB, but we are so excited to always be a part of the Aputure family, and we are very excited that you are always making it more accessible for filmmakers to tell stories. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Always.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Blackmagic Design, creating revolutionary solutions for film, post-production, and television.